Hello from NATO Days in Ostrava. You are watching the ČTK Connect stream from Leoš Janáček Airport in Mošnov, where the 25th edition of Central Europe's largest security show is taking place. Military technology from many European countries is on display here, including, of course, Czech equipment. And one of the biggest partners of this year's event is Czechoslovak Group, a Czech industrial holding that ranks amongst the most important players in defense and security in Europe. And with me on microphone is the group's spokesperson, Mr. Andrej Čite. Hello and welcome.
Hello.
Andrej, tell me, we are sitting in one of the yours newest vehicle. Where are we sitting at?
We are sitting in TADEAS 6x6 vehicle based on Tatra chassis, which is ideal for movement in difficult terrain. This version is MEV, which is for medical evacuation in combat. But this vehicle can serve for many other purposes, for example, as communication and command vehicle, combat vehicle, or for transport of infantry team.
What's on display for CSG here today, this year?
The main product on display here at NATO Days is Pandur 8x8 Evo. It's the newest version of Pandur combat vehicle. It's equipped with turret, with 30mm cannon and machine gun, and it can support infantry because primarily it's infantry fighting vehicle transporting infantry team to the battlefield, but it can fight also with enemies' vehicles, and it can also fight with aerial targets, drones included, thanks to its very modern advanced systems using AI or augmented reality.
And what's other from Pandurs here on display from CSG?
We have quite a big so-called Tatra zone, and according to its name, there are around 15 vehicles built on Tatra chassis, for example, multiple rocket launcher RM-70 Vampire for infantry support, and also civilian vehicle called Phoenix, and many other versions of our Tatra vehicles, because Tatra is one of the symbols of traditional Czech industry. It's one of the oldest car makers on the world, and its unique chassis is ideal for difficult terrain movement, which means that it's ideal for soldiers, firefighters, and armed forces in general.
You mentioned the Pandurs. You are having the license for them. What's the story about that? Because this was originally from the Austria, and now that's yours, and you are making them with 8 wheels and a lot of technology you were speaking about. So what's the story, and how did you get the license?
Basically, Pandur can be used like a story symbolizing the development of European defense industry, because as you mentioned, first it was Austrian vehicle produced in Austrian factory, Steyr, and this factory was bought by General Dynamics European Land Systems, which is basically European branch of GD Corporation, one of the biggest group of defense industry on the world. And from General Dynamics European Land Systems, we acquired a license, exclusive license, for production of Pandur 8x8 version. And this vehicle serves, of course, in Czech armed forces, but we managed also to export it, for example, to customers in Southeast Asia. So it's typical example that defense industry is global and that leading players can at one time compete with each other or cooperate.
You are celebrating, like the CSG, this year, the 30th anniversary. Yeah. What's the story? What's the history of the company? Where were you, and where are we now?
So CSG is 30 years old. It started very small, like small trading company, trading with surplus military equipment, which was sold out from former armies of Warsaw Pact and NATO. But over years, we gradually transformed ourselves into manufacturer and later also developer of in-house products, like, for example, self-propelled artillery system DITA, which is delivered, for example, to Ukraine and plays quite an important role in artillery support of Ukrainian army.
And what's the plan for the future, for the next 30 years? What are you looking at?
The plan of our owner is very ambitious. He wants CSG to become one of the leading defense companies in whole Europe and maybe globally. So we are no longer comparing ourselves with companies in Czech Republic or Central Europe, but for example with Rheinmetall. This is the field we want to play on. So our plan is to develop through acquisitions, through organic investment in our existing companies, and implement the best available technologies in our products, so that we are the best possible supplier of defense products for NATO, its allies, and other partners all over the world.
And is there any focus for you, which part of the defense you are looking at?
I will mention as an example large caliber ammunition. It's a product which is in very high demand, especially due to the conflict at Ukraine, due to the Russian aggression, because artillery support is often crucial for maintaining the front line. So we managed to build in Europe the chain of factories from Spain across Slovakia to Greece, and thanks to it we are fully vertically integrated, which is very rare in this industry, and we can deliver to our customers the complete product without being dependent on supplies from abroad, from states outside of NATO. And this is very important because especially in crisis you can rely only on defense industry you have on your soil, on your territory. So this is one example.
How the perception of the military industry, defense industry, changed over the couple of past years? How do you feel it, and what's the perception of the politics and the general people?
I think the perception changed almost overnight due to Russian aggression against Ukraine, and now politicians, investors, banks, but also broad public see defense industry as a mainstay of security. You need defense industry to support armies, police forces, but also rescue forces, firefighters. You need defense industry, otherwise you are not safe. So yeah, the change is huge, and we are fully participating on this change.
How do you change the scope of the armies in Europe? How the modernization and focus and aims look like these days? What's the main pillars of the defense of the countries in Europe?
It's true to say that European armies were underinvested for tens and tens of years. So there is a huge debt which must be overcome by investments into modernization, but also in simple stocks, for example, of large caliber ammunition. So even if the conflict at Ukraine finishes tomorrow, which we all wish, it will take another 15 or more years if European armies want to resupply, to fulfill NATO standards regarding stocks in their depots and regarding investments into new land systems or aerial systems.
How do you cope with all the demand of the new scope of defense in Europe? Could you manage all the demand in Europe right now?
So again, if I return to the example of large caliber ammunition, demand is huge and there is not enough production capacity to fulfill requirements of various customers. So we are doing the same what our competitors are doing. We are expanding our production with organic investments in existing factories and also in acquisitions. And generally, our aim in every field we are active in is to achieve as full vertical integration as possible, because then you can guarantee to your customers the security of supply.
And you have a new factory not far from here in Sternberg. Tell me more about it, please.
Yeah, yesterday we opened a new production hall, which is composed of administrative part and production part. It has 6,060 square meters. It's a very modern facility, which creates also 200 new jobs for engineers, for operators in production. And it enables us to expand production of various land systems on wheeled chassis, on tracks, from self-propelled artillery systems like our DITA or Morana, with vehicles like TADEAS. We are sitting in Patriot vehicle on Tatra chassis with 4x4 chassis, and also tanks. So part of yesterday's program of the opening of the new hall was also signature of memorandum of cooperation with KNDS Deutschland, which is very important European company producing Leopard tanks. And we can cooperate with this leading European player also on production or maintenance of Leopard, which is the mainstay of tank corps of various European armies.
Recently announced a quite milestone project for the CSG in the United States. What's the project?
We won the project from US Army, which is very symbolic for us because it shows that we are really a highly valued partner in the United States. We will build for US Army so-called future artillery complex, which will be the most modern factory for the production of 155 NATO caliber ammunition. And this project has value over 600 million US dollars. And basically it's CSG, which is transferring its know-how to US and which integrates the team of leading US companies in various fields. So for us, it's incredible success, which shows that we are really highly valued partner on the most demanding market in the most important NATO country.
And that's the part of you becoming one of the biggest defense company in not Europe or Central Europe, but in the world, as you said.
Yeah, really CSG is no longer a Central European player. We are a global corporation. We want to grow in US, we want to grow in Europe, but also in other important partner countries all over the world.
How do you cope with the demand and the higher prices of energy and people? How do you cope with that, and how do you cope with the labor, which is quite low in the Czech Republic? And how do you manage to get the technicians and people you need?
So regarding energy prices, of course that this is serious problem for European industry in general, especially heavy industry. Steel making, chemical industry. In case of defense industry, it has such a high added value that it can cope with it. And for example, if I use the example of nitrocellulose production, which we recently acquired in Germany, we acquired it from a US company which used it for civilian production of nitrocellulose, and this civilian production was no longer effective. But if we transform the production into so-called energetic nitrocelluloses, which can be used for large and small caliber ammunition, then this production is still viable and has future. So this is about energy. And regarding human resources, depends on every company, situation in every company, in every country we are in is different. But here in the Czech Republic, where we produce mainly land systems, we can use the situation of, let's say, emerging crisis of automotive industry. So people from automotive industry can come to us, to defense industry, and the situation with human resources is quite positive.
At the beginning, we are talking about the Pandurs, and you were talking about the technologies in the Pandur. Tell me more, because you were talking about the AI, how the technology and the AI changing the vehicles, quite traditional vehicles like this.
Yeah. So regarding Pandur Evo vehicle, it uses augmented reality and it uses AI elements, and I will describe the example. Historically, the crew of any armored vehicle had very limited awareness about situation around the vehicle, because they could observe, especially in combat situation, only through very small armored windows. But now, thanks to augmented reality, they can virtually look around like there is no armor at all and see everything on displays. So, modern land system, modern armored vehicle has incredible rich array of sensors, but it creates another problem, that the crew is overwhelmed with information. So what can help? Naturally, artificial intelligence. So in Pandur Evo, artificial intelligence helps with target acquisition and their prioritization, so that commander can decide about the action which needs to be taken in combat situation.
And it has to be quite reliable. The crew depending on the AI. Is it okay for you to doing this quite important job with the AI?
Yeah, AI is essential both in civilian technologies and defense technologies, and of course that we can discuss the future. The thing is, if humans in future, after 10-20 years, will play any role at all, definitely they will play some role, but we will see more and more robots and less people in armed forces. I think this is the vision which is very probable.
And how far we are from that vision? Like 15 years or 20 or maybe
it's
not so
completely possible.
Okay. Thank you very much. Mr. Andrej Čítek, spokesperson for the Czechoslovak Group. Thank you very much.
Thank you for invitation.
And thank you for your time, and see you again.